What's up everybody, it's CJ Plays here, and I'm back with another Rosewood Park renovation video. So the house that we're going to be furnishing today is called the Logan. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and I really love the way that this one turned out. So when I was trying to figure out how to furnish this and like what kind of style I wanted to go for whatever reason, I was thinking about occult Sims. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I make this apartment for roommates who are like different occults? So one of them is a vampire and the other one is a fairy, and I was like, why don't I also do like each room in like a different style or theme depending on the occult? So for example, when you first come into the living room, it was furnished by the vampire, so it has like these really nice gothic style couches. It has a little fireplace as well. Like honestly, this little living room is kind of similar to the one that I did a couple weeks ago. I think it was like the earthy green house that I did. It's kind of similar in a way where you'll see that I like painted some brick over here by the windows just to kind of like put a fireplace and have it be like a fake chimney, so to speak. I ended up using the fireplace from the movie stuff pack, which I really like that one. It has like these snakes at the base of it and it looks so cool. Like I don't really use that many objects from movie stuff all too often, but I thought that was like a cool one. I also used these nice gothic style couches. I think it's from the Oh My Goth set on the Sims 3 store, and I really like those as well. I was gonna try to like use the ones from the movie stuff pack, but then I was like, they don't really look that good. And then I also use, I think, the rug that comes with the Oh My God set, which I think that's like the first time I've ever used that rug for anything. That rug and some of the rugs on the Sims 3 store are kind of hard to use sometimes because you can recolor them, but you can't really change the design of them. It's kind of like a little bit annoying sometimes. So I was playing around with the creative style tool and I came up with like a nice greenish gray color in here, maybe like an olive or something like that in here. And I just thought that this living room is so nice, y'all. I used like a big plant. I used a grandfather clock as well. I had to use the lunar horoscope item. I wanted to kind of use like a lot of stuff from Supernatural. I don't know why, but I've been like really into Supernatural lately. I think it's because I just finished the Supernatural generation in my legacy challenge that I'm doing over on Twitch. And then I recently built like a house for that sim. So I think I'm kind of like still in Supernatural mode. Oh, so y'all, I am so excited because I actually get to use the S3DT mod for this build. So you just saw that I raised up a couple of objects on the banister of the fireplace, and I love that mod, y'all. And then moving on over here though, this is the kitchen. So I knew that I wanted the kitchen to kind of represent the fairy sim. You know, I feel like she was really going in here and just kind of going crazy with the furnishing. So I used some of that like dusty pinkish gray brick, and then I also did like some nice tile down here as well. The color scheme in the kitchen is kind of like a dusty pink and white and burgundy kind of color. It's very relaxing. It kind of reminds me of like Tumblr. So I also used the Supernatural stove and fridge. I also used the Cloud9 countertops, which I have not used those in a while. And then I also paired them up with the pets cabinets at the top because for whatever reason, that set of counters, like the Cloud9, it doesn't come with any upper cabinets for some reason. So I had to kind of get creative and like match it up with some other stuff. I am also using the matching microwave as well. I think that the sink I used is from one of the store sets on the Sims 3 website, and then I'm also using the table from the Province set on the Sims 3 store. Yeah, this build has like a lot of stuff. It took me a while to kind of like figure out what chairs to use in here. So I found these ones from the base game and I thought they looked kind of cool, so I recolored them to kind of match in a little bit with the floor tile. Again, like the color scheme in here is very like dusty pink, and I think it looks so cool. I also ended up adding a china cabinet in here from Supernatural. I used the stereo from the Supernatural pack, and then I also put like a couple of pictures and stuff like that. So like I said, it's just a lot of Supernatural objects. I also found out that this kitchen has like a pantry add-on, and I didn't even notice it at first. I thought that it was supposed to be a bathroom originally, but then I noticed that there was like another bathroom like right beside it. So I was like, well, it wouldn't be really, I guess, good to have two bathrooms right beside each other. So I was like, what if I just make it into like a pantry? So I used one of the bookshelves that comes with the university pack. It's like the smaller version of it. And then I also used a couple of those shelves from the Generations pack. And then I went and I was trying to find like some clutter to kind of put up there. You know, we don't really have like that much food clutter in the game, you know? So I found like some ramen noodles. I also found a couple of those flour bags from like the bakery set on the Sims 3 store. So I was trying to get like super resourceful in there. I didn't want to clutter it up too much because I'd imagine that like if you download this and maybe you need it to be like you know, I don't know, a bathroom or something, or you needed to be something else, I was like, maybe you can just like kind of go in there and like change it if you want to. But for people who just want to download and play, I was like, I'll just make it into like a nice little pantry. It doesn't really have that much gameplay, but you know, you could probably find a use for it if you would like to. I just think it looks really cool. I love the color of the wallpaper. It's like a yellowy kind of color. I honestly could imagine the fairy sim coming in here a lot to like put food away or get different ingredients and stuff like that. So I think this was just like a really good use of space. I love those generation shelves, by the way. I think they're like the best. You can put so much stuff on them. And then to kind of finish off this room, I used one of the rugs from University, and then I also used like a little plant from the base game just to kind of have like some extra clutter in here. But then again, like I said, this room doesn't really have that much gameplay attached to it, really. So, you know, maybe you could come in here like your sim can read a book or something, but there's not like that much going on in here. So after I furnished this room, I went next door and I furnished the bathroom. So for the bathroom, I was like, maybe the vampire was the one to furnish this one. I knew that I wanted the bathroom to be more cohesive with the rest of the house and not so much the kitchen space. So I knew that I wanted to use a lot of the objects that come with the Supernatural pack. So we have the tub, the sink, the toilet. I'm not really a fan of those because I think they just look really big and bulky. It kind of reminds me of like something you would see in The Sims 4. And I just kind of feel like in terms of real life, if you stub your toe on any of these things, then like you're gonna be in some trouble. So I don't really like these that much, but I was like, it's kind of like a Supernatural kind of build. So I was like, we need to use it. I used a couple of those base game paintings in here as well, just to kind of have some art on the wall. And I also used like some of the towels from the seasons pack as well, just to kind of put some more clutter in the bathroom. So now we're moving on upstairs. So for upstairs, I started off in the fairies room first. I don't know, I just kind of wanted to start here. I feel like this room is the biggest room anyway. So at first I was trying to figure out what was going on with the lighting in this room, and then I realized that I needed another window. So I put one on the wall. I also replaced all the lights in the house with the ones, I think that one is from Ambitions, I want to say. So I replaced it, and then I was going to use like that twig bed from the Sims 3 store, but I was like, no, I don't really like that one in here. You know, we could still do fairy, but not like super fairy themed. So I use like the bed that comes from the Diva set on the Sims 3 store, and I use like the nightstand. I don't remember where that nightstand comes from though, but it kind of matches really nicely with the bed. I also use one of the armoires from the Pets pack, a base game rug. There is also a piece of artwork from the Supernatural pack. That one actually changes the picture if you just wait around. I really wanted to use that base game lamp in here because I thought it looked so nice. And then I also use like the little Supernatural like wicker chair, which I thought was kind of cool too. And all y'all, this room is probably my favorite room in the house, like in terms of bedrooms. I just love the color scheme in here. Very like dusty pink and burgundy and white, and it's just really nice to look at. I think it's so calming. Like literally, I feel like you could get some really good sleep in this room. Like legit, especially when it's raining outside. Oof. That's some good sleep right there. But that's pretty much everything for this room. The only other thing that I did was I wanted to use this little fairy light right here, and I tried to like raise it down a little bit with the mod, but it kind of like made it go to the wall beneath it. So I just kept it at the normal height. I was going to recolor it, but I like the green, so I really didn't change too much with it. And then like the last thing that I did in this room was just put like an extra painting on the wall. I think the one that I used is one of the ones on the Sims 3 store, I want to say. But that's pretty much everything for this room. And then I did go back and I put like a lamp. I think I used the one from the seasons pack in here, but that's pretty much everything for the fairy room. Moving on, next is the upstairs bathroom. So I feel like the fairy got to actually, you know, design this one. So for here, I was going to use that shower tub combo, and I was going to use like a pedestal sink to kind of match with it. But then I was like, if I'm going to use the pedestal sink, I might as well just use the matching toilet and the matching tub to go with it. So I did that, and I just recolored everything as well. I really wanted to use this mirror, but for whatever reason, it wouldn't actually raise, so I had to just use a normal one. So I picked the one from the World Adventures pack, and I used this base game rug, and I just recolored it as well. And that's pretty much it for the bathroom. It wasn't super big, so there's not like a whole lot I could do other than like put a plant in the corner. And then moving on, next we have the vampire's bedroom. So I knew for a fact that I wanted to use the vampire altar. If you have the late night pack, you get this vampire altar, and your vampire sims can sleep up there. They'll float, and it's really cool. So I knew for a fact that I wanted to use that. And then I wanted to make the wallpaper in here like a dark burgundy or like a really dark red color. And I also paired it up with some of the objects from the Supernatural pack. So we have like the end table and the dresser from that pack as well. I also put a couple of wall lights in here just to kind of make it a little bit brighter. And then I was trying to like figure out what to put on this wall, and then I was like, ooh, a mirror. And then I was like, wait, just use the magic mirror that you can like use to get makeovers from. So I was like, let's use that. I used a rug from Supernatural, and then I saw the little jelly bean bush, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta squeeze that somewhere. So I put it in the hallway so your sims could use it. it. Be careful. I literally had started a new save file one time, and I had a sim. He ate it, and then he died. And that's right after I started the save file. So be careful when you have your sims eat off of that, because there's a small chance they could die. And then I also put like a chair in here. I put up a couple of those classic looking paintings as well, you know, because this vampire has been around a while. So, you know, he has like some, you know, some nice pictures on the wall from like back in the day. And then I wanted to finish off this room by putting a couple of curtains in here. This is like the only room with curtains because, you know, he's a vampire. He kind of wants to keep the sunlight out as best as he can. So I use the curtains from the pets pack, and I also put like a little bit of clutter in here. So I put some books down below and a couple of like potions and stuff like that, because I kind of feel like the vampire is low-key kind of tired of being a vampire, and I feel like he kind of wants to be a human. So I feel like he's trying to learn alchemy to kind of cure himself. So I wanted to give this household a alchemy room just in case they needed to use it for something. So we have our alchemy station. I kind of feel like it was kind of like a little bit of a joint collaboration with this room, you know, like the fairy got to pick something out, and then the vampire got to pick something out for the room. So I let the fairy get like these nice little whimsical lights and a little painting on the wall as well. I really wanted to use this big like layered rug. It would have worked, but it would have like clipped outside of the lot, and I didn't want that, so I used like the smaller one from Supernatural instead. I also ended up using a couple of chairs that come with the Supernatural pack. I feel like that was the vampire's contribution to the room. And then I also ended up using a couple of shelves from the Supernatural pack. You'll see in a little bit, I actually used the mod to kind of raise up some objects. So I put like the little magical 8-ball, I put like some jars and stuff like that on shelves, just to kind of like make the room feel a little bit more supernatural-ish. But that's pretty much it for the entire build. I will leave this link down below if you want to check it out or download it or whatever. Also, please be sure to stick around for the screenshots. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Thanks for watching!